Welcome into Forest Glen Park. I believe we got our broadcast rolling here, and the Foresters now batting, have their offense rolling early. Leadoff man walk. That's Paco Palina out on second base, and now Nolasco Baroa up at the plate. Foresters got a quick inning from Pappenbrock, the lefty on the mound. Now going to try to go to work at the plate. Pitch number 2 of the at-bat outside. And there's been several changes to this team this year, Ross. 93% of their offense has been lost, but they replaced them with some of these young guys, some transfers, and they're trying to find their groove. Their offense has been there, and it's all about the pitching now for Coach Thad Frame as Hinken throws behind the runner at second base, not in time. Let's go ahead and run through the lineup really quick, Ross. For the Foresters is Paco Paulina, we already talked about him out on second base. Greg Nolasco Barrera, Matt Wolf, the DH, Jordan Malott, Ryan Wheeler, Dylan Roast, Bryce Steckman, Owen Immel, and Cade Flores, the shortstop. That one's poked out of play to the right side. It's going to be a 1-2 count. And then we already saw Pappenbrock. You didn't hear us talk about him, but, man, a really smooth first inning for him, and that's exactly what Coach Frame's looking for.
Yeah, Tyler Pappenbrock got 2 strikeouts there in the first inning for the Foresters, which Coach Thad Frame is surely satisfied with right now.
This one's hit right over the bag. Going to be a tough play. Throw not in time, as getting down the line hard was Nolasco Barrera. And on the defensive side, Brunin couldn't handle, but would have been a tough play anyways. Foresters already with 2 on the corners.
Yeah, right now the Foresters are looking to put their first round on the board against Spring Arbor, and Spring Arbor cannot have the mistake there from that batter for the Foresters.
So HU coming into the young season projected 3rd in the Crossroads League. This is their opening game of conference play this season, and they typically play well here in their home park. Dominated last year at Forest Glen, got to host a conference tournament. Saw a couple of these guys. There's the runner from first. Throw down, that's too high. Here comes the runner home, and he's going to be easily in safe. And the call at second base is safe as well. So the Foresters early have stolen 3 bags in this first inning and now lead 1-0.
Hey, that's what Coach Thad Frame wanted out of that, stolen bases and get the runs on the board for the Foresters.
So HU off to a hot start here. They'd like to take care of business in Game 1. Then they'll have their ace from last year, Graham Collin, towing the rubber in Game 2. The pitch. That one's in there on the inside corner for a strike. You take a look at Hinken on the year. He's just a freshman, Ross, out of Hudsonville, Michigan. 1-1 with a 6.10 ERA. 10 walks in 10 innings, 14 strikeouts. So a lot of strikeouts, but a lot of walks, something to keep an eye on in this game. And there's a hit by pitch, and that's the 3rd hit by pitch already in the first inning, 1 for Spring Arbor. And now Wolf gets the worst of that one on the hand.
That's not what you want right now if you're Kyler Hinken for Spring Arbor, having 3 hit by pitches there in the bottom of the first inning.
So it'll be runners on first and second. Jordan Malott will step to the plate. He's a big part of things last year. He's playing first base today. Also, I believe, a great bowler. I could be mistaken, but Jordan Malott, pretty sure, has a couple of 300 games on his record. And today he's going to be doing it with the stick at the plate. That one drops in for a strike, a breaking ball. So pretty talented guy out there, Ross. And right now he's looking to drive in some runs.
Yeah, Jordan Malott. I talked to him also earlier before even the season started that he was just pretty excited to be back on the baseball field and that he was able to pick up a baseball bat again.
The 0-1's not going to come as Hinken's going to check in behind the runner at second base. Scurrying back in time was Nolasco Barrera. On the year, Huntington hasn't tried to steal a ton of bags, but, man, they've hit a lot of homers. They're leading the Crossroads League in home runs right now, so getting it done in a lot of different ways. Malott down 0-2 as Hinken drops in another breaking ball. Take a look at one of these returners here. Malott last year, a .303 batter. He had 10 home runs, which was 3rd on the team. And today, he is back in the cleanup spot trying to do some damage. Down 0-2 in the count. Hinken delivers. Runner off from second. Foul ball at the plate. That'll chase Nolasco Barrera back to second, but Malott ready to swing on that 0-2 pitch. Look back at these 2 teams last year. Huntington in the top half of the conference. They actually had a school record 38 wins in Coach Thad Frame's first season as the head coach. The pitch. That one's just outside and maybe a little low. Count will move to 1-2. But it wasn't Thad Frame's first year around the program, of course. He was the head assistant for 13 years under his father, Mike Frame, which was he was a tremendous coach for years and years here for the Foresters. And, of course, Thad goes all the way back to his playing years. This one's hit sharply through the left side. The wave's on for Coach Frame. Nolasco Barrera is going to come in standing up, and it's an RBI knock for Malott. Right in the 4-hole, doing what he did all last year.
Yeah, that was a good base hit there from Jordan Malott there to get the second run on the board there for the Foresters.
So Malott will stay on first. That sends Wolf up to second after his hit by pitch. And right now, the Foresters have already put a crooked number on the board, but they can make this a lot better scenario for their pitcher, Pappenbrock, to stay in the game longer if they can knock a few more in this first inning. Malott was just a steady force all last year, just knocking in runs, 44 runs batted in. We talked about it. Huntington lost 93% of their offense. They lost some of the best players in school history and had to replace them. You lose Ian McCutcheon and Jarrett Gray. You lose Langston Ginder and several others. And you turn right back around, still projected to be in the top half of this tough Crossroads League. And a guy like Malott's going to have a big year there as he knocks in his 9th run. And it's just going to be the next man up mentality. But, man, Coach Frame feels confident in this offense and actually thinks that they're a little ahead of schedule offensively. They've already seen a couple of 97, 98-mile-an-hour fastballs, and they're feeling good at the plate right now.
Yeah, like I said earlier, that HU's pretty confident and satisfied where they're at right now, heading into the right direction for this upcoming season. And that Coach Thad Frame said to me earlier that they were just satisfied with the pitching coach that they got this offseason, which was Mike Mockma, greatest addition ever. And then Mockma told me that the pitchers are getting better every single day.
So that'll bring up the hottest hitter in the Foresters lineup. It's Ryan Wheeler. First in average in the Crossroads League. Hinken nearly threw that one into center field, and Wolf scurries back. Wheeler off to a scorching hot start, 556 average, tied for first in home runs in the league with 3 as well, and that fits right into what he wants to do with that short porch in right field. The pitch, that one's too low. Wheeler, the catcher today, and you always want your catcher to be great defensively, but if he adds that pop and that average, that just adds another big part to this offense and the team in general.
Yeah, Ryan Wheeler is a good hitter just for the Foresters to have, and also the defense helps them out as well, being impactful, being the catcher.
Tried to check his swing. I believe it was a called strike there that evens up the count at 1-1. Take you through the Spring Arbor defense in just one moment. If you're watching from up in Michigan today, Wheeler flies that one out of play. So for the Cougars today in left field, it's Braden Gregory. Center field, Ben Redfield. Right field, it is Jake Zeeb. And then from left to right in the infield, Bryce Ritchie, one of the best hitters in the conference last year. Brennan Moran turned a triple play last year in Forest Glen Park during the Crossroads League tournament as Wheeler takes just outside to even up the count at 2-2. And then at second base, it's Aiden Brunin, Ryan Gonzalez, the freshman Hinken on the mound, and Calvin Adams behind the dish. We appreciate you tuning in today here at FDN Sports, working hard to get this one on the air. We'll have one more after, as it's now a full count, and Wheeler has fought his way back to a good spot, and now a little bit of a hitter's count here.
Yeah, right now, Kyler Hinken's got a full count to play with against a very good hot hitter, Ryan Wheeler.
Hinken, that's a big pitch in this game already. Here it comes, and it's at the top of the zone, called strike 3. That's Hinken's first strikeout of the day and the first out recorded by him in this first inning.
Yeah, that was a big pitch there for Spring Arbor off of that Hinken being clutch there on that strikeout.
That is exactly what Hinken has done this year. We mentioned he had 14 strikeouts coming in over 10 innings pitched, so a really nice number for him. We'll probably see a lot of strikeouts in this first game because Pappenbrock does it well. Dribble left side. Richie gets the big hop, has to hurry, makes the throw over in time at first. Roast is retired, and that'll be 2 outs. And now it's up to Deckman to keep this inning going.
That was a big out there from Hinken.
Hinken settling in a little bit. You do have to keep in mind one of these runs was charged as an unearned run. So really he's only given up one that I guess you could say was on him. But sometimes the first inning is the toughest inning for a pitcher. Deckman stands in. That one's in there too low. Ball number 1. Bryce, roaming right field today. He did that a lot last year. Really great hustle player. Makes tremendous defensive plays and takes a big hack at that one as he comes up empty. It's 1-1. And Hinken is going to settle in and send the 1-1 pitch in. That catches the outside corner. And now Hinken in charge at 1-2. The freshman sets and delivers. Swing and a miss. 2 straight Ks. Cleaned up by Adams. Throw on to first in time, and that'll take us to the second inning. At the end of the first, it's 2-0 Foresters when we come back to Mike Frame Field. One of the doubleheader between the Spring Arbor Cougars and Huntington Foresters, and Tyler Pappenbrock will get back to work as he had a clean first inning. Did walk 1 batter, but still scoreless, and now he's got a 2-0 lead, Ross, and just more important to him to keep pumping those strikes in the zone.
You still got to be confident as a pitcher. Tyler Pappenbrock is doing very well, striking out batters here and there, even though he allowed 1 walk in the first inning, which is pretty impressive in the first inning as the pitcher.
Pappenbrock will start with the shortstop, Moran. First pitch from the southpaw is a little too far inside for ball number 1. I mentioned last year, called the Crossroads League tournament here with the FDN Sports crew. Moran turned a triple play where he caught a line drive at short, stepped on second base, and then threw the returning runner from first base back out there as well. So he's a tremendous defender. The hitter has been a little up and down in his career, but man, if he adds that part, he's probably an all-conference type player in this really tough baseball conference, Ross.
Yeah, absolutely. Brennan Moran is a great hitter to have for Spring Arbor because
Adams to the plate, the catcher today. Calvin batting from the right side. Pap's pitch. That one's too low. Good block by Wheeler to keep it in front of him. And the count is 1-0. Spring Arbor coming off a 26-21 season last year, 17-19 within the Crossroads League, as Pappenbrock uses the breaking ball to find the zone, evens up the count at 1-1. And Huntington, of course, 38-16, 27-9 in the Crossroads League. And looking to have that type of year again this year. Throw over to first. Diving back in time is Moran. Not the nicest day at Forest Glen Park, but anytime you get a chance to play baseball here, you'll take it. It's about 47 degrees.
Now batting for the Cougars will be the right fielder, number 28, Jake Seed.
Sliding back in safely. In time, and even after all of those attempts, Moran's in with a stolen base. That's the first of the day for Spring Arbor. What's interesting is Moran last year, all of last year, he only had 9 steals. So it's not like that would necessarily be on his scouting report. In fact, that's only his second stolen base of this young season as well. But something about the Foresters, they watched him. They must have watched him in film this year and realized he's going to try to run against the lefty Pappenbrock. And after a couple of throws over, he decides to go.
Yeah, that was a very good steal there from Moran there for Spring Arbor, trying to catch the Foresters off guard there.
And it looks like Coach Ryan Markin wants to have a conversation with the umpires. He might be upset with a couple of those moves from Pappenbrock over to first. He was having a discussion with the field umpire for a while, and now decided to go talk to the man in charge behind the plate. Either way, Moran's in safely. Markin has been at Spring Arbor now for 7 seasons as the head coach, was an assistant for 3, and a tremendous player for him in his time at Spring Arbor as well. The pitch is a breaking ball and a good one, as Zeeb couldn't connect, and now it's 0-2. Talk a little more about Coach Markin, though, Ross. He won 3 conference tournament titles in his time at Spring Arbor. He was a part of 2 of the best teams in program history, as Pappenbrock gets an awkward swing, but it's lofted into center field and down. Throw's going to come in from Paulina, but it's not going to be in time, as scurrying home is Moran, and the scoring starts with a Zeeb RBI single.
Yeah, that was a good base hit there from Jake Zeeb there for Spring Arbor to put their first run on the board.
You saw that he was extremely off balance on that first breaking ball. Pappenbrock went right back to it. Zeeb stayed back and shot it into center field. And on a cold day like today, and the field still working into its midseason form, that ball kind of checks up, and Paulina never really had a chance to throw that one home. The pitch from Pappenbrock goes right back to that breaking ball against the first baseman Gonzalez and drops it in. Go back to what we were talking about, Coach Markin. He had 2 NAIA World Series appearances, so he went there twice. Obviously, quite the achievement there in itself. And following in the footsteps of 2 back-to-back Hall of Fame coaches at Spring Arbor. So he's excited to do it. It means more than just baseball to him, and he's glad to be in charge of his college that he attended and played baseball at a high level. Gonzalez back in front in the count, 2-1. Here's the pitch. Another awkward swing on a breaking ball, and the count is now 2-2. Zeeb, after the RBI single, still out on first. Huntington shifting a little bit defensively. Lefty on lefty pitch, and another awkward swing, and it's the 4th strikeout of the day. All of them swinging for Pappenbrock as he continues to go to that breaking ball.
Yeah, so far for Pappenbrock, the breaking ball's working for him. And that Spring Arbor looks a little bit confused there after that breaking ball from Pappenbrock to get 4 strikeouts.
That'll bring up Jake Spadowski. A .211 hitter on the year. Started 5 games, played in 9 from the left side. Takes first pitch fastball on the outside corner for a strike. Spadowski played really well in the Crossroads League tournament as well last year. A sneaky hitter, likes to launch it the other way, and a good scenario for him to try to do it here. The pitch, checks his swing, and that's going to even up the count at 1-1. Excuse me. So Spadowski off to a slow start currently this year, but last year started in 45 games, batted .295. Really a contact guy, as it's another breaking ball in the zone for a strike. We talked about Tyler Pappenbrock. He can strike him out with the best of them. He's already looking for number 5 and trying to strike out the side here in the second. The 1-2. That one's just down and out, and the count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Can see Ryan Wheeler behind the plate really trying to make it happen, sticking that pitch close. The 2-2, breaking ball just slow that time, and now the count is full. That will allow Zeeb to get off and running here, as it's a full count, 2 outs. Foresters lead 2-1 in the top of the second. And Pappenbrock knows he's going, throws over, chases him back. Zeeb, the right fielder, responsible for the first run of the day. Still at first, the pitch. Breaking ball too high. It's a walk, the second of the day for Pappenbrock. And that is going to put runners on first and second. Flip the lineup over to Ben Redfield.
That was a good, hard-fought battle between Pappenbrock and Spadowski for Spring Arbor.
That's kind of what Spadowski does. He just stays in there. He has good at-bats. He's willing to foul off pitches. And that time he worked it back to a full count, and he's rewarded with a walk. So Redfield stands in, the leadoff man for the Cougs. 0 for 1 today with a strikeout, looking to bunt for a hit. Looks at a fastball right on the outside corner for strike 1. Redfield, a really solid player in this lineup. .258 on the year, 4 runs knocked in. Doesn't get a ton of these opportunities, but trying to tie it up or give his team the lead. That one's too low. Counts 1-1. Redfield swinging it from the left side last year, .273 at the top of the order for Coach Markin's team. Trying to do some damage early and pull Spring Arbor right back into this matchup. Pappenbrock gets a fastball up and in. Roaming over and making the catch is Flores, and that will end the threat and send us to the bottom of the second. Huntington still leads, but Spring Arbor gets one back. It's 2-1 when we come back to Forest Glen Park. back at Mike Frame Field here at Forest Glen Park on the campus of Huntington University. I'm Preston Husband alongside Ross Gosnell. Ross, we didn't get to introduce ourselves to the fullest starting this game, just trying to work to get everything set up. But we would like the viewers at home to know we are working on getting a few more cameras up and going. Keep in mind it is spring break for a lot of the students here at Huntington University, so they're putting in extra hours this week just to bring this broadcast here. And if you're watching the Foresters or the Cougars today, we welcome you in and hope you're enjoying some early spring baseball. Huntington leads 2-1 as this one's slapped off to the left side and out of play for strike number 1. Huntington put 2 runs on the board in the bottom of the first frame. And now Immel, the left fielder, will start the second inning against the freshman Hinken. The pitch is hit down the left side again. This one stretches just foul. And now the count is 0-2. Hinken got off to a little bit of a rocky start, but calmed down. He kept the Foresters in check with just the 2 runs, and then his team answered with 1 in the top of the second, as it's now just a 1-run game. That one's up and out, and now the count is 1-2. Immel, the guy seeing a lot of playing time already in this young season, as the pitch is lofted to the left side again, and he was trying to go that way the entire at bat, and he's got a leadoff single as he goes the opposite way. And a great piece of hitting by Immel there, a young player that's going to get a lot of chances.
Yeah, that's a great addition to that Frank's lineup. Owen Immel there got a good base hit there for the Foresters.
Immel has been a little bit up and down so far from the plate, but you love to see him sticking with that pitch. He shot a couple of foul balls down the left line, then shot it over the shortstop's head as he's checked on over at first by Hinken back in time. That'll bring up Cade Flores, just 188 on the year, playing shortstop for the Foresters here today in his home debut, and chased back to first again is Immel. Seen both pitchers really make a firm effort to keep these runners close to the bags right now, Ross.
Yeah, it's been a hard-fought battle between these 2 young pitchers.
That one's outside as Flores was looking to drop that one down for a sacrifice bunt. And Coach Thad Frayne rolling through the signs with his lefty hitter. The 1-0 again showing bunt. Pulls it back in time, and the count's 2-0. Shortstop out of LaPorte, Indiana. Freshman at 5'10". Promising future for him, already starting in the first conference games of the year. Bunts through that one, and now the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. When you lose all those great players and Satchel Wilson's, Ian McCutcheon's, Langston Ginder, you got to replace them with some talented freshmen. And a couple of them in the lineup today as Flores watches that one way too far outside. Now he's up in the count at 3-1.
Yeah, when you lose 3 good players from last year for AGU, you got to bring some good recruiters or get some transfers out of the transfer portal to be impactful for the Foresters.
This is back-to-back freshmen in the lineup with Immel at first, and now Flores at the plate, and now the count is full. We saw Huntington being really aggressive on the base pass in that first inning. We'll see if Immel's off and running. I would guess there's a good chance. Just a big lead. Ball 4 outside. Good eye by Flores. It's the first 2 on for HU as they're threatening again at the plate.
If I'm Spring Arbor right now, if you're Kyler Hinton, I would slow down with your pitches and call down at the mound.
So Hinken will wait for the leadoff man, Polina, to step in, center fielder today. Great addition so far to this Forester offense at the top, looking to bunt, and that one's down low for ball number 1. Paco was hit by a pitch his first time up, stole second, came around to score. Actually stole home, technically, on a double steal, as Nolasco Barrera stole second on the same play, and now he bunts it down the left side. It's going to roll foul. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike.
I thought that was a good bunt attempt there for
Paulina comes in, a transfer from Kankakee Community College, originally from the Netherlands, and trying to just be an impactful bat at the top of this lineup. We've already seen his impact today in that top spot. The 1-1, still showing bunt. This time he gets it down. It's back to Hinken. This is going to be a tough play, and there isn't going to be a play as Hinken couldn't field it cleanly, and the Foresters have the bases loaded with nobody out here in the bottom of the second.
That was a very successful bunt there from Paulina to get on the first base off of that successful bunt.
It looked like he was probably bunting to give himself up a sacrifice opportunity, but it was really right in no man's land between the pitcher and catcher, and now it leads to a big opportunity for HU. The first pitch hit off the foot of Nolasco Barrera. Waiting to see if they're going to give that a hit. They are. So that is the second hit of the inning for the Foresters, and a chance to put up another crooked number. Hinken sets the pitch, driven into center field. Going over on it and making the grab is Redfield. It's going to score a run, and Flores goes from second to third in a successful at bat for Nolasco Barrera as he knocks in the third run of the game.
Yeah, that was a very good, smart play there from Barrera there, just to pop by there.
So Huntington has their third run. They're up 3-1, and that'll give Matt Wolf an opportunity to knock in one more. That's out number one in the inning. Paulina stays at first. And now Immel was the one that scored there. Flores over to third. Runners on the corner. HU trying to add on. And, man, Hinken had the runner Paulina picked off, but just a little slow throwing it over. Coach Frame has his team playing aggressive baseball in this first couple of innings. There he goes. Pitch down. Paulina freezes, and he's actually going to go back to first as he was trying to maybe get that throw down to second for the Foresters to steal another bag. There we go. Looks like we got some other angles setting up. We apologize for a little bit of that delay. As mentioned, a lot of our students on spring break this week just getting into a rhythm with baseball as Wolf stares at a strike, and the count's 1-1. Tell you what, the FDN sports crew did an incredible job last year as HU hosted the Crossroads League tournament. A lot of compliments. I mean, camera work was amazing. We had replay going on. It's really exciting. It's something that we hope to do again soon here at Forest Glen Park, as Wolf was trying to make it more than just one run knocked in with that swing. Now he's down in the count, 1-2. Foresters already up 3-1. Chance to add on. Hinken's pitch. There goes the runner from first. Great play behind the plate by Calvin Adams. He just saved a run there. Paulina has his second stolen base of the day, and now two in scoring position for HU. See Wolf, a .414 hitter on the young season. He can do damage in a hurry. He's trying to do it here. The pitch. That one's ripped. Great play by Richie and a perfect at bat by Wolf. But man, Richie, another great defender on the left side, threw up the left hand and stabbed it out of midair.
What a great snatch from Richie there for Spring Arbor. Almost a double playoff with that.
Yeah, smart base running there by Flores. Tried to freeze on that line drive, and he did. But Richie maybe just saved 2 runs there for Spring Arbor. It'll be up to Jordan Malott now. The pitch. Breaking ball lifted center field. Going over on it is Redfield. He's going to make the grab in the gap. And that's going to take us to the third inning. The Foresters add on one more. Had a chance for a few more. Couldn't connect. But it's still a lead with Pappenbrock back on the mound. Back at Mike Frame Field, the Foresters playing their first home game of the young season, their first conference game of the year as well. And Coach Thad Frame has to be pleased what he's seen out of his lefty on the mound so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Thad Frame's seen much improvement from his pitching from Tyler Pappenbrock, which he already has 4 strikeouts so far in the ballgame.
He's a big strikeout arm, probably going to be the 2 pitcher on this roster this year as Bryce Ritchie steps in, sees that first pitch down a little low. Ritchie last year, third baseman, we just saw him make a great play on defense as well as that one's up and out of the zone. He was a .409 hitter, top 3 hitter in the conference. And when you add that with the defensive presence that he brings as well at the hot corner, he's a really tough player and someone I'd look for on the honorable mention or even the second team, first team list. 3-0. And that's 4 straight out of the zone. Second walk of the day. Second walk of the day for Pappenbrock. You know what, Ross? Make it number 3 as he has hit a batter as well. And Ritchie does what he's done in his entire career, gets on first base.
Right now, if you're Coach Thad Frame and the Foresters, Tyler Pappenbrock just needs to settle down on the mound after that 4-pitch walk.
That'll bring up Aiden Brunin, who was hit by a pitch his first time up. Another throw over to first as Ritchie able to dive back in. Ritchie 4 for 4 on stolen base attempts so far this season. It's another miss too high by Pappenbrock. Ritchie last year only stole 5 bags on 7 attempts, so when he goes, he's pretty good at getting there in time, but doesn't run at a high volume. The pitch. That one's in there for a strike. Brunin, a familiar face, coming back from last year off of a really decent season. Batting right around 300 on the young year. Pitch. Up and out of the zone. That seems to be a common miss here right now for Pappenbrock. Maybe just not finishing on those pitches, Ross.
I feel like he's not finishing strong after he throws the ball to the catcher.
2-1. That one is just a little low with the breaking ball, and now Pappenbrock's got to buckle up and get some of these pitches in the zone. His team just gave him another run. You don't want to give up a couple of free bags. The pitch. That one's in there and evens up the count. Moves the count to 3-2.
That was a very big pitch there for Pappenbrock to make that a full count for Spring Arbor.
The lefty sets at the chest. Here's the payoff. That one just misses the top of the zone, and it's 2 straight walks, and now runners on first and second as Spring Arbor is looking to tie this ball game up.
That's not what Pappenbrock is looking for to start the inning here for the Foresters.
So it's 4 strikeouts, but also 4 walks for the junior lefty on the mound. We've already pinpointed it, and that's something when I talked about meeting with Coach Frame, he said our pitchers are strikeout heavy, but unfortunately so far this year they're walk heavy. They've walked too many batters, and that's what has hurt them in late game scenarios. They could easily be 6-4 instead of 4-6. But another side of that is, Ross, they've played a tough schedule, a top 40 strength of schedule so far this season, and last year at this time they played a top 90, around the 90th toughest schedule. So a lot of positives happening, but it all starts with this pitching staff. Pappenbrock's throw back behind the runner, not in time, as Nolasco Barrera picked it out of midair. That brings up Gregory, the left fielder today, who's batting .294 on the season. Malott at first is thinking bunt. We'll see if Spring Arbor's thinking the same thing. The pitch lifted behind home plate. Giving it a look is Wheeler, but he's going to run out of play and just misses a couple of Cougars fans sitting down the first baseline. Got to be heads up here, Forest Glen.
Yeah, you have to be a heads up there if you're in the crowd here today at Forester Glen.
It's an 0-1 count, as Gregory will step back in. Tyler Pappenbrock trying to work out of a little bit of a jam. Double play ball sure would help. The 0-1 now looking to bunt, and that one gets away from the catcher Wheeler, and that is going to be as good as a bunt as the runners are going to move up. We'll wait and see if it's a pass ball or a wild pitch. I'm assuming that's going to go on the catcher Wheeler, and now 2 runners in scoring position.
That's not what you want right now if you're the Foresters.
Gregory settles back in. He's got 2 men in scoring position. A base hit may tie this one up. No outs. Top of the 3rd, the pitch in the turf again. Wheeler able to get down and block that one.
Tyler Pappenbrock just needs to settle down on the mound right now for HU.
Yep, trying to find that rhythm. Working at a good pace, just trying to get back into the zone. 2-1, fouled away, and the count is 2-2. Now the good news is Pappenbrock has been a little erratic on the mound, but he's also strikeout heavy. So you get this first guy out via the K, and then you're just 2 outs away or pop up away, and you're right back into this inning, and maybe your team can still hold on to the lead. Spring Arbor looking to do damage, and it's another full count as Gregory now has worked another great at bat.
So far right now, Pappenbrock's got 59 total pitches in 3 innings so far, which that's pretty heavily right now for the Foresters.
Yeah, he's been throwing around 75 in his first few starts. This one's sent to center field. Over on it is Paco Polino, who makes the grab. Smartly throws that ball to third base to keep the runner on second. It does lead to Bryce Ritchie scoring. But, man, that is a really smart play by a veteran center fielder, getting over, cutting that one off and making the catch for the first out, but then keeping that runner on second.
Yeah, that was a very good, smart decision there for the Foresters.
It's a sac fly for Gregory. Brunin stays out on second, and now that brings up the shortstop Moran. Brendan just batted last inning. He walked and came around to score the first run of the day. Pitch right on the inside corner for strike number 1.
Very big pitch there from Pappenbrock.
Yep, love to see strike 1 if you're Coach Frame and the rest of this staff. Most important pitch of the at-bat typically seems to be the first one. Here it comes, number 2. That one's down in the turf. Wheeler again working hard to keep that one in front of him. They did give that a pass ball on Wheeler as well, so just something to keep in mind. He's been challenged a lot here early, though, and he's done a really nice job behind the dish. Tyler with the pitch. That one's inside. Count to 2-1. Moran, a defensive wizard, trying to get it done with the bat now. Settles in. Pappenbrock's 2-1. That one's hit to the left side, scooped up by Roast. The throw over in time, and another big out by Pappenbrock as he gets Moran to roll over. And it's an easy 5-3 put out for the Foresters.
Yeah, that was a big, huge out there for the Foresters, which that was needed for Pappenbrock.
That keeps Brunin at second base as well. And now the job will be up to Calvin Adams, who his first time around struck out swinging. Pappenbrock's first pitch. That one finds the outside corner for strike number 1. Looked to be maybe a little bit of a change-up there. A little two-seam movement, maybe a circle change from Pappenbrock. Trying to keep his team in front. The lefty, big breath and a pitch. Swing and a miss. Snap throw to second. It gets by the second baseman. Wheeler's going to pick up a throwing error now, as it looked like the second baseman, Velasco Barrera, was just a little shy getting in front of that one.
That's a very miscommunication there out on second base and shortstop.
So it's the first error on the Foresters. There's one on Spring Arbor already, but now you look at it, the tying run just 90 feet away. So a pass ball, a balk, or a wild pitch, anything can get him home. Papenbrock looking to close down the threat. The pitch fouled off. Good battle there at the plate as a couple of Spring Arbor Cougars scurrying out of the way of that one. Adams, a sophomore from Commerce Township, Michigan, trying to get it done for his team, and he's done just that with a single right up the middle. And this ball game is tied after Adams takes an 0-2 pitch right back at Papenbrock.
Yeah, that was a very good base hit there for Zach Adams and for Spring Arbor for tying up this ball game here against the Foresters.
So Adams able to even it back up. Huntington has scored in the first 2 innings. It was a scoreless first for Spring Arbor, but now they've responded in the last 2 innings, and it's a brand new ball game just like that. That'll bring up Zeeb, who knocked in the first run of the day with an RBI single. Stares at a breaking ball, too low. Ball number 1. Zeeb, the right fielder today in his junior campaign. The pitch is low again, and now the count's 2-0, so Zeeb in a good hitter's count at the moment. Zeeb reached second base before a Spring Arbor threat was closed out by Papenbrock, and he's trying to put away the third inning now. The pitch is a swing and a miss. Count now 2-1. Zeeb, a transfer from Madonna in his first season with Spring Arbor, batting .269 on the year. And once again, the count goes back in his favor. It's 3-1. So Zeeb is truly a Michigan man. He went from Madonna up in Michigan and transferred over to Spring Arbor. So changing it up, staying in his home state as Papenbrock throws over and the runner back in time. You mentioned it, Ross. Already 73 pitches for Tyler Papenbrock, and a little bit of movement happening out in the left field bullpen. Runner off, pitch in there at the top of the zone for strike 2. It's another stolen base, as that's actually the pinch runner in for Adams. Campo able to slide in safely. Three-two pitch. Ball lifted to center field. Back on it again is Paulina, still going back and makes the running grab right before the warning track. But not before the Spring Arbor Cougars put up 2 runs. We're tied at 3 as we head to the bottom of 3 inside of Forest Glen Park. Bottom of the third, it's 3-3. Spring Arbor coming into town, taking on the Huntington University Foresters. These two teams opening up conference play within the Crossroads League. And if you were with Ross and I on Wednesday night, you saw the Huntington Foresters take down Spring Arbor in basketball on a game-winning banked 3 by Zach Goodline. And this one, maybe not as exciting yet, but we could get there, Ross, as this has been a really great first 2.5 innings.
So far, it's been a pitcher's duel so far between Spring Arbor and the Foresters.
Wheeler grounds one to the right side. Brunin picks it up, and on his second attempt of the day, throws it over in time to Gonzalez. That's one pitch, one out, and that's exactly what Hinken's looking for.
Yeah, that's what Spring Arbor is looking for. So one pitch, one out. Maybe they can do that for the next 2 outs.
We'll see. That would be a fairly efficient inning. The most innings that Hinken, the freshman, has gone this year was against St. Xavier out of Illinois. 5 innings in his collegiate debut. That pitch down. So there goes the hopes of a 3-pitch inning as Roast takes a breaking ball down. Hinken, I mean, this is telling. A freshman getting a start on a Friday within the conference against a top 3 team in the conference. I mean, usually you see the best arms the first game or second game on a Friday. That's kind of how you roll in all of college baseball. If you call someone a Friday arm, that's someone that's going to stick around for a while. 1-1 pitch. Roast hits it left side. Moran gets it off the turf, flips it over in time, 6-3, and it's still an efficient 2 outs, just 4 pitches and 2 down here as the Foresters have grounded out twice to start the inning.
Yeah, that's still what Kyler Hinken's still looking for Spring Arbor. Get those quick pitches and end the inning pretty quickly.
So Hinken now will face Deckman, who struck out his first time. Righty on righty. The freshman's pitch, lofted into left center field. This is going to split the gap and looks like it'll go all the way to the wall. Deckman on his way to second. He's going to pull up there with a stand-up double, and the Foresters making a little noise with 2 outs.
That's a big hit there for the Foresters off of that Bryce Deckman double, which is a very good hit there for the Foresters.
Yeah, Deckman looking breaking ball, it looked like there as he sat back and launched that one into the left field gap. And the 2 outfielders, Redfield and Gregory, never really had a chance at that, and that just shows you this lineup depth. I mean, that's Deckman, who's batting in the 7th spot today, producing right away. Bring up the freshman, Immel. Walked his first time, he hit a single his first time, just like that, to the left side. And he likes that approach. You can already tell it, Ross. He's not looking to pull the ball. He's looking to spray it to the left side, and it worked perfectly for him the first time. See if he can knock Deckman in as Hinken checks in with Brunin, and Bryce back in safely. Counts 0-1. The score's 3-3. Foresters and the Cougs starting their Crossroads League season here in a chilly Huntington, Indiana. Brunin checks and wants another throw, and Deckman this time back in standing up. Tell you, Ross, the Cougs are bringing a lot of viewers today. They got a lot of people checking in, and we appreciate you all tuning in today here at FDN Sports. Hope you enjoy the broadcast and taking in some baseball as Immel shoots this one to the left side, and the Cougars are going to run out of room there. Counts 1-2. Looks like we got a couple of dogs down the left field line as well. A little bark in the park.
Yeah, that's what I call it. Dog in the park day here at Forester Glen.
I think it seems like that every home game. There's always some sort of animal in attendance as Hinken gets the strikeout to end the threat, and that will send us to the top of the 4th. Locked in a good one. It's 3-3. Cougs coming up to hit when we come back. Back inside of Forest Glen Park for the top of the fourth. We got a comment telling us that Spring Arbor's catcher is Zach Adams. That is what we've been referring to him as, I believe, most of the game. But either way, the Foresters tied up 3-3 right now against the guest out of Spring Arbor. If we did misspeak, we apologize. We'll make sure to write that one down. Adams already with a single in this game, not up at this point. It's Gonzalez, the first baseman, who's up 2-0 in the count.
Right now, Pappenbrock just needs a little bit more settling down on the mound. Right now, he's close to 80 pitches.
Pappenbrock with the 80 pitches. As you mentioned, this is number 80, and it's a ball, and it's a 3-0 count. Gonzalez, the left-handed hitting first baseman, his first time up, struck out swinging. The pitch is ball 4, and it's a 4-pitch walk. And that has been a little bit of an early struggle here for Pappenbrock. And I would assume there's some sort of pitch limit on him today since it's cold out. It's early season. The Foresters have been battling a little bit of injury on the mound as well. We'll see how long that Coach Frame sticks with his lefty.
Looks like Coach Mockma, the pitching coach, looks like he's going to the bullpen.
Strike at the bottom of the zone as Spodowski was showing bunt. He walked his first time up, DHing here today. And that's a good way to start for Pappenbrock. The pitch, another bunt. This time he bunts through, snap throw down to first, and getting back in time is Gonzalez. Count quickly 0-2. Pappenbrock now has 5 walks, 4 Ks. So trying to rein in that control and put up a 0 on the board. The pitch, still trying to bunt. This one's going to roll foul, and that's going to count as a strikeout, as even with the 2 strikes, Spodowski tries to put it down, and that's a free out for the Foresters.
You know, that was a very huge strikeout there for Pappenbrock to get his 5th strikeout of the afternoon.
That'll bring up the leadoff man, Redfield. Been on the day 0 for 2. Last time up, popped out to the shortstop. Pitch down too low. Count 1-0. Even if Pappenbrock can give you 4 innings or a little more, 4 2/3, 5 innings, you feel really good. Going into that bullpen, that one drops in right at the knees for strike 1. Pap sets the pitch. Breaking ball right side, sneaks through. Coming up on it is Deckman. Runner going to stop at second, and cutting it off is Flores. And now it's runners on first and second with the best hitter, Ritchie, for the Cougars coming up.
That was a very quick recovery there from Deckman to get the ball back into play for the Foresters.
Great job there by Redfield, hanging on that breaking ball and squeezing it through the right side. And just like that, after the Foresters led 2-0 and then 2-1 and then 3-1, it's now 3-3, and the Cougars have a chance to take their first lead of the day. Hit number 3 for Spring Arbor. Ritchie trying to make it 4. The pitch, that's too low. Count 1-0. Last time up, Ritchie walked, came around to score on an RBI single a sac fly by Gregory. And then Zach Adams followed him with a single later to tie it up in the last inning. Pitch, hit Ritchie, and now it's bases loaded.
That's not what you want right now if you're the Foresters, having bases loaded with only 1 out.
So Gonzalez goes to third. Moving up to second is Redfield, and Ritchie, after getting plunked there on the replay, will be on first base, and that'll bring up Aiden Brunin. And man, Ross, already in this game, top of the 4th, you're only playing 7 innings in these doubleheaders. This is a big scenario for both sides.
Yes, it is, absolutely, because the Foresters are struggling on the mound right now, and Spring Arbor has the bases loaded. They could be a potential grand slam here if you're Spring Arbor.
We'll see. I'm sure they just settle for the lead in any sort of way as Pappenbrock delivers a breaking ball too low, and it's 1-0. Brunen's been on both sides. First time he was hit by a pitch. Second time he walked, came around to score on that Adams single we were just talking about. And Pappenbrock settles in. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. A good pitch there with another breaking ball, it looked like, from Pappenbrock. And the count evens up at 1-1.
That was a big pitch there for Pappenbrock, getting down to 90 pitches already.
Huntington still staying in double play depth, trying to get out of this inning with one pitch. Here it comes. That one's inside corner, strike number 2, and you could tell Brunen did not like that one. The lefty sets. Biggest pitch of the afternoon is outside, and the count evens up 2-2. Pappenbrock sets. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball fouled off the foot of Brunen. That remains at 2-2. You know what? I do want to apologize to the viewers for Spring Arbor. I was calling the catcher Calvin Adams instead of Zach, and that is because the roster we received was incorrect. So I apologize. And we'll make sure to call him the right thing the rest of the way. Zach already having a great day, and a big swing and a miss here from Brunen, as collecting the biggest out of the afternoon is Pappenbrock, and now he's just one out away from keeping this game tied.
Yeah, that was a huge strikeout there from Pappenbrock, getting his 6K of the afternoon.
It's been a little bit of an up and down game, as it has been a wild afternoon for Pappenbrock. 6 Ks, 5 walks, 96 pitches. Trying to keep his team tied against Gregory now, who hits it into left field. He's going to untie it. Coming up on it is Immel. 2 runners coming in, 2 runners going to score, and it's a 5-3 lead for the Spring Arbor Cougars.
Looks like Spring Arbor's bringing more confidence in this inning after that base hit there from Gregory.
So Gregory collects his second and third RBI of the afternoon. Ritchie up to second. Redfield and Gonzalez score. And just like that, Huntington trails by 2. Pitch from Pappenbrock. Runner off from second. Throw down to third. In time. The ball came out on the transfer, it looked like. And that's going to be a caught stealing, as Wheeler put that one right on the money. And Roast was there to put the tag.
What a great recovery there from Wheeler to get that out on to third base.
So Ritchie is out, and that will end the inning. And Coach Markin has a couple of words on his way back to the dugout, and we'll take a break as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Spring Arbor up 5-3. Welcome back to Forest Glen Park. We want to give a shout out to a special visitor tuning in to today's game. Larry DeSimplaire, he is the commissioner of the Crossroads League. We just saw his son playing for Spring Arbor here on Wednesday night. Really nice guy to have tune in to today. I mean, one of the most important guys across the athletic department for the entire Crossroads League, tuning in, letting everyone know that there's a lot of Crossroads League sports going on. I mean, you've got baseball today, 8 of the teams in the Crossroads League playing, and then women's basketball tonight, or excuse me, tomorrow night, as the semifinals will go on, and the Huntington men's Foresters team will play at Indiana Wesleyan tomorrow, as they're in the Final Four once again for the Crossroads League tournament. Marion and Grace will be competing. That will be 2 heavyweight games, and then you look, softball's underway, bowling's going on. I mean, there's a lot going on right now in the Crossroads League, and there's something special about baseball season, though, especially here at Forest Glen, one of the best settings in the Midwest, especially for NAIA ball.
Can't get better than this, having to play here at Forester Glen Park. That's the best baseball here.
Swing and a miss. It's 0-2 as Flores waits for the pitch. Hinken hits the bottom of the zone. He struck out back-to-back batters, the freshman at 8 and 9 in the lineup. And Hinken is really starting to find his rhythm now. He's settled in after those first 2 innings. Just so you know, if you guys can't hear Ross, he is here. I don't know if you guys can or not, but we are working on his audio as well. So if it sounds like I'm just talking to myself, it's actually Ross over here next to me. He's done a lot of games with me this year, including that exciting one on Wednesday night, many other basketball games, volleyball games, soccer. We try to do it all here on FDN Sports as Paulina's down 0-2.
Yeah, let's see the Foresters get back to the swing of things with this huge at-bat here from Paulina.
0-2 pitch. That one's outside. Paulina on the day, perfect at the plate, 1 for 1, hit by pitch and a scored run. His last time up, a bunt single. Trying to get this offense back to rolling. Swing and a miss at a high breaking ball. That's 3 straight Ks now for the freshman on the bump for Spring Arbor. And I tell you what, Hinken's starting to look like he has most of the season.
Yeah, so far, Hinken's pretty much being confident right now as a freshman. I thought he would have those freshman jitters, but he's showing as a freshman right now. He's doing pretty good.
Nolasco Barrera fouls the first pitch out of play. And it's all about the confidence. He's standing in there. His team gave him the lead, so he's pounding the strike zone, and that's what you want from a young pitcher. Does it again. This one's hit softly up the middle. It'll roll through for a base hit. And staying hot at the plate is Nolasco Barrera. He's on for the second time today, and he had a sac fly in his last at bat, so he's had a really productive day at the plate. And now a chance for the Foresters to make a little 2-out music.
That was a huge hit there from Barrera to get that single for the Foresters.
Here comes the first pitch to Wolf after a throw over to first. Gonzalez snaps down the tag. Wolf came in batting over 400 on the year. Still there. Another throw over. Nolasco Barrera back in time. So many interesting stories on this roster. Just up and down. I mean, guys from all over the place. Nolasco Barrera from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. He's back in time again, and just in time that time. And that's the beauty of baseball, Ross. You get guys from all over the country and outside of the country as well on this Forester roster.
That's just any baseball team. You're going to have outside countries like Dominican Republic. Even at the professional level, you still have people from the baseball players' perspective is that they get players outside of those countries.
Yep, the Dominican Republic, of course, one of the absolute best baseball countries in the entire world. I mean, you talk about all-star after all-star coming out of that country, and it's been that way for several years now. And it's just how it works. And the Foresters may have a star from the Dominican on their roster down at first base right now.
Yeah, there's so many players professionally come out of the Dominican Republic, and they're still being successful on the American MLB teams.
1-2. Big pitch for Hinken. Runner off, swing and a miss. Strikes out the side, does the right-handed freshman. And just like that, we head to the top of the fifth. The Foresters trail by 2. Spring Arbor coming up to the plate. Back for the top of the fifth, it'll be Tyler Pappenbrock back on the rubber for HU, and he could use a quick inning right now with the Foresters down 2 runs, and still at the plate is Moran, who was at the plate when Richie was caught stealing. First pitch, breaking ball, and a sword swing by Moran as it's strike number 1.
That's what Tyler Pappenbrock was needing after that first pitch strike. Right now he's at 97 pitches. That's pretty high right now.
Now back-to-back breaking ball strikes has the count 0-2. And Huntington very much still in this game. The bullpen has been decent for Spring Arbor, but not always the strength. So if Huntington can hang on, there's still a chance to stay in this ball game. And Pappenbrock strikes out Moran looking. And the strikeouts starting to pile up right now for both pitchers.
That was a very huge strikeout there for Pappenbrock with one big out.
So Moran takes a seat, and that'll bring up the catcher for Spring Arbor now. Having a nice day at the plate is Adams. 1 for 2, a strikeout and a single on his last at bat. He's down 0-1 with another first pitch strike.
Looks like Tyler Pappenbrock getting back to his old self again from the beginning of the ball game.
Zach Adams waits for the pitch, gets the pitch, fouls it off the left foot, and now the count's 0-2. Those especially do not feel good on cold days like today, Ross. You foul the ball off your foot, and you feel that one for a while. It just stings a little worse when it's not very warm out. Adams needs to retie the laces. And it looks like he's ready to go. As Tyler Pappenbrock feeling a little more confident now. Quickly back on the bump. Out of the windup and the pitch. That one snaps a little low. It was Wheeler trying to buy that strike. Just couldn't quite get it. The 1-2. Breaking ball this time inside again. And now the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And now the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back Ks for Pap. And that is a quick 2 outs. And he's trying to get through 5 innings now with 1 more out.
Yeah, that was 2 huge strikeouts there for Pappenbrock to get HU back to going on offense.
I actually have no idea if Huntington calls him Pap or not, but I'm assuming so. We're going to roll with it. So anytime he's on the mound now, that's the nickname I'm giving him. I'm assuming it's got to be, as that one's in for strike number 1. Zeeb at the plate, 1 for 2 on the day. Flew out to the center fielder his last time and singled his first time up, and quickly down 0-2.
2 huge strikes there for Pappenbrock. Maybe he could get a 3rd strike here and go to the bottom of the 5th inning.
Looking to strike out the side. And he has with the breaking ball down. Wheeler will finish it with the throw to Malott. A quick 1-2-3 inning for the lefty for HU. Now it's time for the bats to get hot. Down 5-3, heading to the bottom of the 5th. Back here at Forest Glen Park for the bottom of the 5th. It's a little bit of a dreary, windy day, and right now the Foresters' bats trying to come back to life. Ross, as they're down by 2 runs. They had an early 2-0 lead, then a 3-1 lead, and this Spring Arbor Cougars team, who's going to be a lot better this year, battled back, and now it's the Foresters' job to get back into this game.
Yeah, right now for you got to come out hot, swinging the bats here in the bottom of the 5th inning, just like you did in the 1st inning.
So we will wait and see if this Foresters offense can get going. I want to give a shout out to Angie Anglin. She is the mother of freshman right-handed pitcher R.J. Anglin, who has been off to a great start. And it's been a really positive piece to this Foresters team to get big innings from that freshman arm, because you talk about Pappenbrock hasn't really been 100% yet until today, which he honestly put together a good performance, just struggled throwing strikes a little bit. And then on the other side of things, Graham Collin has only thrown 3 innings so far, and he's coming off an 8-1 season with a sub-3 ERA. So Huntington's just trying to put all the pieces together. They'll need to come back here with just 9 outs to work with. First pitch in there from Hinken. And you take a look at how many pitches he has. He's at 62, so much more efficient. A lot fouls it off in front of the Foresters dugout, and the count's 0-2. The 0-2 pitch out of the windup. Hit up the middle. Going to be a tough play for Moran. Here he comes. Throw over just in time as Malott was getting down the line, and it's 1 up, 1 down again here for Hinken. So it was all strikeouts last inning. Hinken uses his defense and a good defender in Moran to get the first out. Ryan Wheeler will step in now on the day 0 for 2. Strikeout and a ground out to the second baseman his last time up. Takes a strike at the bottom of the zone.
So far, Hinkman's been looking good so far for Spring Arbor as a freshman.
Hinkman, a solid freshman, still getting it done, and that one is down too low. The count is 1-1. Third pitch of the at-bat to Wheeler. Swing and a miss. Little off speed there by Hinken, excuse me. Count is 1-2. He's looking for his 7th strikeout of the day. The righty delivers. There it is, number 7, as Hinken continues to dial it up, and he is rolling right now after a really tough start, and that's a new career high for him as well with 7 Ks.
Yeah, that's pretty good for a freshman, having 7 Ks in the afternoon.
Well, that'll bring up the next hitter, Roast, the third baseman today. Hinken working quickly and confidently, misses out wide. But it's been over the last 2 innings, he recorded 3 outs over 4 batters against the Foresters in the bottom of the 4th. In this one, he's got the first 2 out. That one's a little wild outside all the way to the backstop. Count is 2-0. Want to remind you, I don't know if we're picking up Ross very well right now, but Ross Gosnell is on the call with me here today. And if you can't hear him all that well at home, we are working on that. So if it sounds like I'm just talking to myself, I do have a good partner in Ross next to me. The only thing wrong with Ross is he's a Dodgers fan, so
Hey,
that's the only negative thing, right?
Redstone.
Hey.
Joe Argio, all that. You have Pete Rose.
Yeah, I used to.
I mean, you guys got Ellie De La Cruz now. So
Yeah.
He's a very good baseball player.
Yes, he is. Hinken with his 2nd walk of the day. That'll allow Bryce Deckman to step up to the plate. Deckman hit a double his last time up. Really, that's the last time the Foresters had any kind of threat, was in the 3rd inning. The bottom of the 3rd, Deckman hit a 2-out double, and then it was Immel who struck out. So Huntington has been in this spot a couple of times today, and right now someone's got to come up with that big swing, that big play to bring this energy back into the Forester dugout.
So far, it could be Bryce Deckman could come up with a big hit here for the Foresters.
The set from Hinken and the pitch. There's a lofted ground ball. Ritchie diving play over to first base, and an incredible stretch by Gonzalez to finish out the bottom of the 5th. The left side of the infield for Spring Arbor as solid as it gets, and they lead as we head into the top of the 6th. It's 5-3 Spring Arbor. We've made it to the top of the sixth. Pappenbrock still on the mound for the Huntington Foresters. Take a look at the recap so far today. Pappenbrock got through a scoreless first. Huntington put up the first two. Spring Arbor answered back with one in the second. Huntington did the same. It was 3-1 then, but over the last 3 innings, Spring Arbor has outscored the Foresters 4-0, and they lead 5-3 in the first conference matchup of the year. And Ross, not that this would be a major upset, but this would be a great start for the Cougars in conference play.
Yeah, right now Spring Arbor is looking confident right now, having a 5-3 lead against a very good Huntington baseball team.
Still 6 outs to go for the Foresters offense, but it all starts with Pappenbrock as he gets a swinging strike from Gonzalez. Today, the first baseman, Ryan, is 0 for 1 with a walk, and he pops this one up left side. The lights are on, a little miscommunication, but the shortstop Flores takes over, and that's the first out of the 6th inning.
That was a very huge out there from the Foresters.
Oh, it's a pop out to Flores, and Pappenbrock will now face Spadowski, who's 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout in his last appearance. Here's the pitch, up too high. Pappenbrock, they're riding with him, Ross. I mean, he's got a ton of pitches, 110 now, but you get in a conference play, you got to lean on your big dogs to get you through some of these games, and the count is now 1-1.
You gotta trust him though, because it comes down to the stretch. Like, you're down 2 runs right now. If you're HU, it could be huge.
The pitch, that one's in the turf, blocked by Wheeler. It's 2-1. The lefty out of the windup, and the 2-1 fouled straight back. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pappenbrock looking for strikeout number 10. Here comes the payoff pitch. Hit up the middle. Roaming over is the shortstop Flores on the run and gets the speedy Spadowski for out number 2.
Cade Flores there, man, oh man. He's pretty quick when he's at shortstop.
Yeah, very flashy on the defensive side. Just a freshman. Still learning the ropes of playing in a really tough conference. Of course, making his conference debut and home debut today. Makes a great defensive play. 2 up, 2 down. The pitch up too high on the leadoff man, Ben Redfield. On the day, he is 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored his last time up. Now the count is even at 1-1. Pappenbrock in a much better rhythm right now. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Looked like a changeup and a good one.
This could be 3 huge outs here for the Foresters.
Yeah, you're right. This would be a massive 3 outs right in a row, too. I mean, 1, 2, 3 inning. That gives your pitcher a lot of confidence. Looking for strikeout number 10 once again. The pitch. That's out wide, and the count is 2-2. Here comes the 2-2. Grounded foul to the right side, and the count will remain 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Pappenbrock still fighting out there on the mound with only 2 strikes.
Another 2-2. Swing and a miss. Wheeler has to clean it up. He does just that. Throws a strike to first. Pappenbrock, 10 Ks on the afternoon. Now it's up to the offense when we come back on FTN Sports. Back at Forest Glen Park for the bottom of the sixth, and it's still the freshman Kyler Hinken on the mound for Spring Arbor. Just 73 pitches so far, 5 innings pitched, 2 earned, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks. Ross, this freshman is someone to watch.
Yeah, he is. Kyler Hinken is a freshman to watch right now in the Crossroads League in general because he could get freshman pitcher of the week possibly for Spring Arbor.
Yeah, he's been really sharp today. He had a couple of bumpy pitches and really just a bumpy start in this game. But right now, he's locked back in. And you look at these 7-inning doubleheaders, he could go a complete game and rest this bullpen entirely. They're going to lead on Murphy in the second game, a really crafty lefty that had a tremendous year last year. We saw him pitch in the Crossroads League tournament as well. So if he can keep it going, that gives Spring Arbor a lot of flexibility in game number 2, as it's a swing and a miss from Immel. And over the last 3 innings now, it's been Hinken in complete control. That one's down low, count 1-1. He gave up a double to Deckman in the third, recorded an out in the 3 other batters' face, gave up a single in the fourth, and then got 3 straight outs, as that's another swing and a miss. Count is 1-2. And then last inning was a ground out, a strikeout, a walk, and a ground out. He's in really on cruise control right now. The pitch. Down too low. He's already reached a career high in strikeouts. Looking to add to that total here. Immel 1 for 2 on the day. Hits this one hard through the right side. That's his second knock as the freshman continues to produce for this offense, and that's the noise that Huntington's looking to make here late in this ball game.
That was a huge hit there from Owen Immel for that single there for the Foresters.
We will see if Huntington can start to produce at the plate. Looks like Coach Thad Frame wants to run for Immel, the freshman, who will leave the game at the moment. And now another freshman, Flores, steps up to the plate. Flores 0 for 1 on the day with a walk and a strikeout. The pitch fouled off to the left side, and the count is 0-1.
He might have went out to the parking lot there after that foul ball.
That one was hit off into the trees on the left side. And here comes the second pitch to Flores as he takes that one on the inside corner for strike number 2. The shortstop looking to get his offense rolling. Runner off. Pitch there. No one at second. That one nearly goes through the middle of the infield, and Moran able to slide over and knock it down to keep the new runner into the game there at second base.
That was a huge stolen base there for the Foresters.
It's Kestranek that was in to run for Immel. He's got a steal. Huntington's racked up a handful today. Here's the pitch. That one's fouled at the plate off of the batter, so he's going to stick in there and able to stay alive as Flores. Yeah, I may be misspeaking. It looks like Brant Mullins, who's a part of the Spring Arbor baseball team last year, is mentioning this might be a 9, so I will check and make sure during our next break to make sure I'm not misspeaking on that. I apologize if I am incorrect, as Flores evens it up at 2-2. So Flores looking to pull the Foresters just a little closer. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Flores strikes out for the second time today. And just like that, Hinken gets right back into his rhythm. He's racked up now 8 strikeouts.
Yeah, that was a huge strikeout there from Kyler Hinken for Spring Arbor.
That'll bring up Paulina now. He's been on base twice, hit by pitch and a scored run in the first, and then a single in the second as they check in on the runner. Hinken at 83 pitches, and just now Spring Arbor is starting to get some arms loosened up down the right field line as Hinken once again checks in. This is Huntington's best chance since back in the third inning when Bryce Deckman hit a double to the left field gap. The pitch. That one's up high. Count 1-0.
Little heat check there from Hinken.
Yeah, jumping out of the way just in time as Paulina. It's been really good roaming center field here today as he tries to keep the offense going. Left side, Ritchie gets the tough hop, throws it over, and it's a low throw, but Gonzalez able to pick it off the turf. So that one goes 5-3, and now it's 2 outs. That is the one benefit to this turf surface. You throw one of those low bouncers, you usually get a true skip, so Gonzalez doesn't have to really be fooled. And sometimes you'll even see guys throw the ball purposely into the turf on a long hop. I don't think that was the case there for Ritchie. Either way, it's 2 outs. Now Nolasco Barrera is up as he takes one up and tight for ball 1. The pause and the pitch. Takes it for a strike on the outside corner. Now a 1-1 count. We are lined up for game number 2 right around 6 o'clock, so we'll see how this one plays out. Here's the pitch. Lifted straight back behind the plate. Adams gives it a look, and it lands on top of the press box, and it's a 1-2 count. Hinken gets the sign. Now he sets. Trying to get out of the bottom of the 6th, and he has with another strikeout, make it 9 on the afternoon. And Spring Arbor's going to take the lead with them into the top of the 7th. Huntington still down 2 when we come back on FDN Sports. Back in Forest Glen Park, and the news is good news if you're a Forester fan. This game's going to be 9 innings, so shout out Brant Mullins for keeping us in check here. A little Spring Arbor action helping out Forester broadcaster. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I remember Brant Mullins from last year's Crossroad League tournament. And Brant, correct me if I'm wrong, brother Brock was also on Spring Arbor as well. I better check the roster and make sure that's still not the case. I could be trying to catch up with that, but I remember those 2 names really well from last season when we hosted the conference tournament here. Of course, I called about 13 games in 4 days, so trying to keep all those names in line. But this will be a 9-inning game, and then the second game of the doubleheader will be 7. So my apologies on that one, as the Foresters currently down in this game 5-3, and they make a pitching change as Jonathan Baker will be in for the Foresters.
They call him Bubba.
Bubba Baker. All right, that's good to know. Here's the pitch, and he works in a breaking ball against Ritchie for strike number 1. Pappenbrock's day is over. He gave his best effort, didn't have his best stuff, but still kept Huntington right in this game, Ross. Ritchie down 0-2. Tough guy to strike out. Pitch. Breaking ball stays high. It's now 1-2. Forster staying the same defensively around the diamond. as Baker now delivers the 1-2. Another breaking ball stays up, and now it's 2-2.
That looked like a good pitch there for Jonathan Baker.
Maybe just slightly up and out of the zone. Baker resets. The righty goes to work. This one's a good one. Left side. That is a new third baseman over there, in fact, and the throw's in time as the Foresters did change it up a little bit defensively, as that was making sure I know who it is. Nolasco Barrera, who's moved now from second to third.
A little quick defensive change in the lineup there for HU.
Here comes the pitch. That one goes through the glove of Wheeler. Okay, so Brant Mullins and Brock Mullins are in retirement now, Brock says. I like that.
It's pretty nice to be retired from college baseball.
Yeah. We wish you luck with whatever you're doing. They made a little bit of a run in this tournament last year. Played some really solid baseball, and they were workhorses on the mound. Here's the pitch, 1-1, outside by Baker. 1 out, top of the 7th, 5-3. The Cougars in front. Pitching change, the first of the day for HU, and another breaking ball ripped foul. Count is 0-2. Huntington could use some quick innings from their pitching staff right now. That is Barrera over at third. Roast went to left, and Flores is now the second baseman. As the 0-2 pitch finds the outside corner, strike 3 call. Baker picks up his first strikeout, and it's a quick 2 outs in relief.
That was a huge strikeout there from Jonathan Baker and for the Foresters.
One more change to make sure we're caught up on at shortstop is Kestranek. He came in to run for Immel, so he stays at short. Going to left is Roast from third. And then Nolasco Barrera is at third base.
That was a good pitch there for Jonathan Baker to get the first strike for the Foresters.
Yep, strike number 1, a big one. And a breaking ball works around the plate. Count evens up at 1-1. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball, another good one. Just stays low against Gregory. 1 for 2 on the day. A sac fly knocked in the second run of the day back in the third inning for the Cougs. Since then, they've put 2 more on the board. Here comes the pitch. Another breaking ball. Breaking ball heavy as Baker right now. As the count moves to 3 balls and 1 strike. Baker trying to have a quick 1-2-3 inning. Pitch. Dribble left side. That's going to be a foul ball. And now he's just 1 pitch away from a 1-2-3 inning. Baker wears number 38 out on the mound. He's a junior from Milford, Ohio. Trying to shut down the threat. Just 2 innings on the year for Baker. The pitch. Ground ball right side. Freshly moved over from shortstop. Flores makes the play at second. And it's a quick 1-2-3 inning. Big time inning there from Baker as we head to the 7th inning stretch. Huntington still down 2. Just 9 outs to work with. Made it to the 7th inning stretch. First home game for the Huntington Foresters, taking on conference foes, Spring Arbor Cougars. Right now, Cougars up in the bottom of the 7th, 5-3. Just 10 combined hits so far. It looked like we were going to have an offensive beatdown between these two sides to start. Since then, the pitching has really settled in for both sides.
Yeah, it's been going good on the both sides. You got the offensive side and also the defensive side with the pitching.
So it'll still be Hinken on the mound, as it is 5-3 in favor of his team. Freshman showing this league what he's made of so far today. Hinken misses on the first pitch. Here's the second, grounded left side. Moran gets the high hop, throws over, and quickly takes care of Wolf, the batter. And Huntington right now in a little bit of a funk offensively, trying to get back into that groove.
Looks like Spring Arbor's taking care of business right now.
Hinken trying to make quick work once again. Last inning, only faced 4 batters, gave up a single to Immel, and then retired the next 3 as Malat swings and misses. Counts 0-1. Action all over the Crossroads League today. Just 2 of the 8 teams in action in the conference here at Forest Glen, as that one's down too low. The count's 1-1. Malat 1 for 3 on the day. Grounded out to Moran, the shortstop, his last time up. Singled in his first plate appearance. And fouls this one straight back out of play. Also flew out to the center fielder Redfield earlier in the game. Hinken working with Adams. The pitch fouled off the foot of Malat. Count's going to stay at 1 ball and 2 strikes. One-two pitch. That one's too low. Count back to even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Right now, Jordan Malat's hard-fought battling right now when he's up to bat.
2-2. Foul ball again. Malat hanging in there against Hinken. Freshman on the day is now up to 92 pitches, has 9 strikeouts, which is a new career high. Out of the windup and the delivery. That one's too low, and Malat's fought all the way back to make it a full count. Hinken and Adams again. And the payoff pitch. That one's on the outside corner. Strike 3 called. Malat goes down looking, and now Hinken's got double-digit strikeouts on the afternoon.
Looks like Jordan Malat didn't like that call there from the umpire.
Yep, maybe thought it was out. Either way, Hinken got the call, and he's got another quick 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. That'll bring up Ryan Wheeler, who's 0 for 3 today, came in as the leading hitter in the conference. Fouls this one off to the left side, strike number 1. Wheeler came in, and before this game was batting .556, as you see that on your screen. And today, a little bit of a slow start offensively. 2 Ks, 1 looking, grounded out to second base as well. Hinken's had this whole offense really out of sorts for the last 4 innings. The pitch. Wheeler swings a miss at a changeup. The count's 1-2. Hinken looking for number 11 in his first Crossroads League game. Foul ball from Wheeler as he stays alive. Huntington had an early lead. Spring Arbor took it right back. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Hinken. Too high. Wheeler The lefty with 3 home runs on the year as well. With power comes some swing and miss. We'll see if he can connect on one, maybe bring HU a little closer. He does. It's down the right field line, and it's just foul as he tried turning on it to that short porch.
That was some good contact there from Ryan Wheeler.
He's got that ability. He can change a game with one swing. Talked about how he's tied for the Crossroads League lead in home runs on the young season. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Hinken has struck out 11 as Wheeler's gone down for the 3rd time this afternoon. It's a 5-3 advantage when we come back. The top of the 8th, Cougars coming back to the plate. Back for the top of the 8th. It's still Spring Arbor 5, Huntington 3, and it's going to be Jonathan Baker coming out to work in his 2nd inning. And a little bit of a story here for the Foresters. Baker with that last inning, that's one more inning than he threw all of last season. Kind of battled through some injury in 2021, 2022. He appeared in 18 games, 0-1 record, and at a 6.35 ERA. This is already his 4th game of the young year, so it's nice to have that piece back, and also a reliever that can give you some multiple innings out of the bullpen as well. Here comes the first pitch. Moran shows bunt, and he bunts right through it for strike number 1. Moran, who struggled a little bit at the plate last year, is off to a .433 start. Today he's 0 for 2. He walked in the 2nd inning and came around to score. At the time was the first run of the game, and now he's down 0-2.
Looks like Jonathan Baker's warming up with those pitches there. 2 strikes in a row.
Baker struck out 1 in his first inning of work. Gets a ground ball left side. Nolasco Barrera able to take care of it. Makes a perfect throw over to first. 1 up, 1 down. Defensively. And at the plate, he's added 1 hit, but he struck out twice as well. Baker gets a first pitch swing coming in on it, and not able to get there in time was Paulina. And that's going to be the 2nd hit of the day for Adams, who's 2 for 4. I like that approach there from Adams. Ready on that first pitch fastball and let it fly right away.
Yeah, that was a good hit there from Zach Adams for Spring Arbor.
That'll bring up Zeeb, who steps up today. He is 1 for 3. Had a single his first time up, followed by a fly out to center and a strikeout back in the 5th. Baker from the set, first time today, throws it down low, but Wheeler able to scoop it up. Baker sets the pitch. Breaking ball falls in there for a strike. Wheeler again down to first, but not in time as Adams dives back in safely. Check that. That's Campo in to run for the catcher. 1-1 pitch. Campo goes, swing and a miss. Wheeler throw down, not in time. And Campo, as a pinch runner today for the catcher, has 2 stolen bases.
Yeah, that's a very good stolen base there from Campo there for Spring Arbor.
So now it's a 1-2 count as the speedy Campo. The pitch. Breaking ball down low. Wheeler able to snag it and then tag Zeeb on his way to the dugout. That's the second strikeout for Baker, and now Huntington just 1 out away from getting out of the jam. Coach Markin comes out. Take a look at that last breaking ball by Baker. Beautiful pitch. And then Wheeler wisely picks it off the turf and tags the batter out. And it appears that Coach Markin wants to talk with the home plate umpire. I'm not sure if he's preparing to pinch hit. Have not had an announcement yet, but it looks like that's what he's going to do. It's 16 waiting on deck. And that is Connor D., a freshman from Gladwin, Michigan, who's going to step in and take a big at bat late in this ball game. Connor D., known as an infielder, scored 1 run so far this season. He's only had 2 at-bats, though, Ross, so this is very fresh for him. He has played in 4 games, has a stolen base, but, man, they're throwing him right into the fire here in the Crossroads League.
That's what Spring Arbor's head coach wants to do, make him step up at the right moment at the right time.
So Gonzalez no longer going to hit. It's interesting because he batted all 3 times against Pappenbrock, the lefty, as that one is down too low. So D is going to replace Gonzalez, at least at the plate. And Baker trying to get out of this top of the 8th. Keep the Foresters down by only 2. That one's buried, and Wheeler does a nice job keeping it in front. As you can tell, it's a chilly day here at Forest Glen Park. A lot of blankets and hoodies riding out this first home game of the year for HU. Baker's pitch. Breaking ball snaps over the outside corner. The count's 2-1. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball again, this time fouled off to the left side, and the count evens up at 2-2. 2-2 count. Baker sets again. Here's the pitch. Ball ripped into the right center field gap. D collects his first collegiate base hit. He's going to give the Spring Arbor Cougars another run, and it's a double celebration as the Cougars are now up 3 in the top of the 8th.
That was a huge hit there from Connor D, bringing that RBI double for Spring Arbor.
D on the young year only had 2 at-bats, and his first collegiate base hit is a huge one. And Coach Markin pulls the strings, and it works out perfectly for Spring Arbor. And it looks like Coach Thad Frame is going to take the ball from his pitcher Baker and make a change. We're going to take a break with them. It's the top of the 8th. Huntington still not out of danger yet, down 3 runs. Back inside Forest Glen Park, it's a 6-3 lead for the Spring Arbor Cougars, and Coach Thad Frame has decided to go with his third arm of the day. It's Carter Walker, a freshman out of Santa Claus, Indiana. Went to Castle High School. Fun fact for you. That's where my wife went to high school as well. So met her down at Ball State, and she's from Newburgh, Indiana. So all the way down south, Santa Claus, known for Holiday World. Did you know that, Ross? You ever been there?
No, I have not.
Okay, well.
I've seen commercials for Holiday World.
Yeah, it's a place to go, I guess, if you're a younger kid. I went there several times way back in the day. But for the freshman from Santa Claus, Indiana, Baker loses his last hitter he faces. He's responsible for D out on second, and it'll be up to Carter Walker to put the fire out here. Spadowski hits one. Walker actually deflected it. Flores comes up, and that helped his cause because he's able to get up and throw the runner out in time. So Spring Arbor adds one more on. It's 6-3. Huntington has 6 outs to go when we come back. Welcome back for the bottom of the 8th. It's a pitching change for Coach Markin and the Spring Arbor Cougars. And the big fella on the mound at 6'4", 230, a junior out of North Branch High School in Michigan, is Ryan Ruhlman. Saw him a little bit as well last year in the postseason, and he's off to a tremendous start here in his junior campaign. A 2 ERA, Ross. He's been dynamite out of the pen for Coach Markin's squad, and it's not a super small sample size. 9 innings, struck out 6 batters, 3 walks, and most importantly, a couple of wins on his record as well. So something to watch. Foresters do get into the bullpen, but what a phenomenal start by the freshman as first pitch is lofted down the right field line, heading over and making the grab right in front of the warning track, and actually onto the track is the right fielder Zeeb, and it's 1 pitch and 1 out for Ruhlman.
Yeah, that was a good snag there from Zeeb for Spring Arbor.
So something to look back on. That previous out that was taken care of by the Foresters in that inning, it's actually going to go 1-4-3 since the Forester pitcher deflected that ball, and I really do think that helped Flores make that play. Ruhlman up too high. That was Roast who flew out down the right field line. 0 for 3 now on the day. The pitch. Deckman hits it hard. This one's not going to help the defense as Ruhlman stabbed it, and it goes out of the way for Brunin. And honestly, they teach you as a pitcher to try to not knock that ball down, and mostly in a double play scenario. Sometimes you knock it away and it deflects away. In that situation, it would have been better for Ruhlman. You'll see there to let that ball go, and you can kind of see Brunin like slap his leg and say, hey man, you don't hit that, it's another out. Ground ball right side. Gonzalez, who's back in the game defensively, flips over in time as Ruhlman has another quick out. It does move the runner up to second. Now HU will have to go again with 2 outs. And Huntington's going to pinch hit here as Flores is going to be pulled back. And we're going to see a new player step up to the plate, another lefty swinger. And that's going to be Cam Clarkson, a junior from Marymount University, a transfer coming in and hoping to come up with a big swing as Flores just 0 for 2 on the day with 2 strikeouts. Coach Thad Frame now wants to pull some strings and see if a pinch hitter can come through for him. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. Huntington needs to get this offense going. First pitch in there, strike number 1. Clarkson, a lot of pop in that bat, trying to make something happen, trying to wake up this Forester team. The 0-1 pitch. Clarkson hits it hard, but it's right to the second baseman. And easily making the throw over is Aiden Brunin. And now, just 3 outs away, are the Cougars from beating the Foresters. We head to the 9th. It's Spring Arbor up 3 when we come back on FDN Sports. We return for the 9th inning at Forest Glen Park. It's a 6-3 lead for the visitors from Spring Arbor, Michigan. And it looks like we're going to have a couple of defensive changes once again on the infield for the Foresters. It will still be the right-handed freshman Carter Walker out there. But I believe Nolasco Barrera is going to go back to second. And stepping back into the field is Immel at short. And then the third baseman now is going to be Roast again. So all kind of changes happening right now as we're adding another change to our broadcast as well. There's the third base camera making its debut today. So we're working hard to give you all the looks. Sorry we got off to a slow start, but man, our crew has been working awfully hard in the back to bring you a lot of good looks, and now we've got them all.
Get better than that on a Friday night.
Yeah, it just took us a while. 3 o'clock starts are really tough for our crew as this one is fouled up and into the creek that runs next to Forest Glen Park. Count is 0-2. This is the leadoff man Redfield working against the freshman Carter Walker. Walker faced one batter in the top of the 8th. If I could figure out what I'm trying to say. And he's got the first 2 guys out that he's facing. This one gets Redfield striking out looking with a nice breaking ball.
That was a very nice strikeout there for Carter Walker and Foresters.
Walker trying to give Huntington a little bit of length here as he'll face Bryce Ritchie now. Ritchie on the day has walked twice. He scored a run. He's 0 for 2. The pitch. Another breaking ball. This time it's too low. Count is 1-0. Couple of freshmen getting a lot of chances on the mound. The pitch. Another one out of the zone. Now the count 2-0. Talked about Ritchie last year, a .409 hitter. I mean, phenomenal. One of the top hitters in the entire country last season on a 26-21 Cougars team. Hit hard right side. Laying out was Nolasco Barrera. Could not get to it. And that is going to be Ritchie's first hit of the afternoon. And a little something going here in the away 9th for the Cougars.
That was a nice attempt there for Barrera, but unfortunately he missed the grab there.
You see there. That one's just a little too far out of reach. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Wheeler snaps it down to first, not in time. Nolasco Baroa over at second. Mentioned Flores back at short and Roast back at third. Just a couple of defensive changes, kind of all over the place for HU. The pitch, another breaking ball. This time it's a strike at the top of the zone. The count's 0-2. I like what Walker is providing, coming in, pumping strikes, not giving up any free bases, and just providing a little extra relief for some of these arms.
Yeah, getting that extra boost.
Runner going, ground ball softly left side. Roast, who's back in, throws over high, but Malat's there to stretch out. That one's going to go 5-3, and now with 2 outs, it'll be up to Gregory to add on for Spring Arbor. Gregory on the day is 1 for 3 with a sac fly. You see Roast showing off the strong arm. Third baseman's obviously usually have some of the strongest arms on the field, and Roast shows it off there. Richie, with his bright cleats, still waiting out on second. Gregory trying to send him home. The pitch. Breaking ball lined right to Roast, and sometimes the ball just finds you, and now the Foresters have to find the bats. We head to the final half inning. HU needs at least 3 to keep this one going when we come back on FDN Sports. We've made it to the bottom of the ninth at Forest Glen Park. It's still a 6-3 lead for the Spring Arbor Cougars. Last year, Huntington beat Spring Arbor in all 4 games, and they've actually won the last 7 games in this series. Today, Spring Arbor is trying to flip that script right away, and they're only 3 outs away from doing it.
I think Spring Arbor can do it, finish it out here, the last 3 outs of the ball game.
It'll be Ryan Ruhlman who will be on the mound to close it out. He came in and had a great first inning of work out of the bullpen, but he will have to face the top of the order for the Foresters, as it will be Paco Paulina who leads it off for HU. 1 for 3 on the day. Scored a run in the first inning. First pitch. Paco hits it hard to center field, but right in his tracks will go Redfield, who makes the grab. It's 1 pitch and 1 out, and Ruhlman continues to shut down this offense. That'll bring up Greg Nolasco Baroa. As you see, Redfield had perfect track on that one, and now Nolasco Baroa will have to get this offense going. Just a .225 hitter so far. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball fooled the hitter badly. And behind the plate, Adams thought it was a strike, but instead it's a 2-0 count. The pitch. Too far outside. And now Baroa up 3-0 in the count. Looking to start a little magic here in the ninth. 3-0 pitch. That one hits the outside corner. The count's 3-1. Nolasco Baroa looking to get on base for the 3rd time this afternoon. The pitch. Again high, and he's on for the 3rd time this afternoon. First time he's been walked, he's reached on an error and had a single, and that's the way to get this offense rolling, Ross.
Yeah, that's what you need if you're HU right now. Get the bases going.
So now that'll bring up Matt Wolf. Wolf on the day. He's been on base 1 time. And he can change a game in a hurry. Right now, the Foresters need 3, though. Ruhlman's pitch. Check swing, foul ball off the net. Counts 0-1. Wolf has been in the middle of this lineup now the last couple of seasons. Throw over from Ruhlman, not in time. Nolasco Borrera over at first. Wouldn't think this is a stolen base opportunity here as Ruhlman delivers too high. Counts 1-1. Got to be really smart as a base runner in this scenario. You don't just need that run, you need 2 more.
You got to be smart here if you're HU.
Breaking ball stays inside. Wolf now up in the count, 2-1. Jordan Malott, third on the team in home runs last year, waits on deck. This Forester offense, who's been rock solid, has been shut out since the 2nd inning. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball again, nearly catches Wolf, and now it's 3-1. There is one arm getting loose in that Spring Arbor bullpen. Waiting to see if Ruhlman can get the job done. Looks like down in the bullpen, that might be 23 warming up for Spring Arbor. Couldn't quite tell with that third base cam. If so, that's Eli DeVisser, a freshman. I guess it could have also been Jack Will, who's also a freshman. Couldn't quite tell, but either way, we'll make sure we know who it is if they have to make a change. Ruhlman comes in with a 2 ERA. He's lowered it since coming into the game. Both teams with 7 hits. The difference is Spring Arbor's got 6 runs, has 6 runs. Huntington has 3, and it's another walk. So back-to-back free bases, and now the Foresters are a swing away from tying this game up.
Right now, HU needs to take that advantage with 2 runners on base.
You do not like to give away free bases in this scenario. Your team up 3 with 3 outs to go. Being a closer is much different than any other position in baseball. Wolf is going to get ran for. And it looks like over at first now, that's going to be Drew Wagner, a freshman infielder out of Oak Hill High School, getting his first appearance today. Malott looking to change this game with 1 swing. Here's the pitch. Takes a fastball, top of the zone, strike number 1. Malott on the day. He is 1 for 4. Had his hit way back in the first. Since then, has not been on base. The pitch. That one's too high this time, and the count evens up at 1-1. Ryan Wheeler waits on deck. Came in as the best hitter in the conference. 0 for 4 today, but you'd live with him coming to the plate if you're Coach Frame. The pitch. That one's way outside. Ball bounces right back to the catcher, and thankfully for the Foresters, a good read by the base runners, and now 2 are in scoring position. And another reason that's huge, Ross, is the double play threat is now gone for HU.
Yeah, that was a good scenario. They'll take it to a stolen base instead of handling a double play.
It's a 2-1 count. Malott waits. The pitch. That one's high again, and now it's 3-1 for Malott. Things getting a little interesting here now. Malott way up in the count, a hitter's count for a power hitter. Here it comes. That one's at the knees. The count now full. Ruhlman looking for a big out. Malott looking for a big hit. The pitch outside, and that's going to bring Ryan Wheeler to the plate. And now Huntington's in business with just 1 out, down 3 runs. Their best hitter at the dish.
Hey, that's what you need right now with bases loaded with 1 out. You don't want to face a double play if you're HU.
Okay, Ross, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I said the game we had Wednesday night is about as exciting as it gets. If Ryan Wheeler hits a walk-off grand slam here, we're probably going to freak out like we did on Wednesday night, right?
Right.
I mean, we're not saying that's going to happen, but Wheeler is tied for the Crossroads League home run total right now with 3. He also came in with a .556 average. Today he's 0 for 4. And the best way to end an 0 for 4 day is winning the ball game for your team.
This could be a huge rally for the Foresters.
Really, that's not what the coaching staff's thinking, though. They're looking at extending this game. You've done that. Your goal in that situation is bring the tying run to the plate. Now you've brought the winning run to the plate, and you see what happens from here. It'll be Ryan Wheeler who steps up, bases loaded with Foresters. Ruhlman has a job of trying to shut this game down. Wheeler, the lefty, has the short porch and right. The pitch. That one's outside. Ruhlman kind of lost the zone right now.
Yeah, if you're HU, you're going to take it right now if you coach that Fred, being satisfied with that pitch.
Ruhlman sets and pitches, and it's a check swing foul ball to the left side. Count at 1-1. We mentioned with power comes some swing and miss. Wheeler has struck out 3 times today. He also grounded out to second. Pitch. Breaking ball inside. Counts 2-1. That's a close take there for Wheeler.
Very close indeed.
Wheeler waits. Ruhlman sets and delivers. Wheeler takes high. It's now 3-1. Foresters trying to mount a comeback here of 3 runs down in the bottom of the 9th. It's been all Spring Arbor really since the 4th inning. That one hits the inside corner, and now the count is full.
Well, I call it sink or swim here if you're Ryan Wheeler.
Forester fans hope he swims. The pitch. That one hits him. It's not a grand slam, but it's one more run, and now HU back within 2, and Coach Markin has to go to his bullpen. Huntington down 6-4. We're going to keep it right here. Ryan Wheeler doesn't get a hit, but he gets an RBI. And the inning is going to end for Ruhlman at least. He walked Nolasco Barrera. He walked Matt Wolf. He then walked Jordan Malott, and now he's hit Ryan Wheeler, so completely lost his control. And that's so strange to see because he was so locked in out of the bullpen in that first inning of work. Sometimes it's just a lack of focus. Sometimes pitching in the 9th inning is just really hard to do. And for Ruhlman, he did a nice job in that first time around, but he comes out here and couldn't get the job done. It's going to be up to the next man up. And it looks like it's going to be another freshman arm coming in. And we guessed right on one of them. It's number 13, Jack Will, out of Canton, Michigan, who will have the job of trying to put away this Huntington Foresters offense, who all of a sudden has now come back to life.
Yeah, I mean, Spring Arbor's getting off track here. On the 9th inning, HU's going to get on track.
Jack Will on the year has pitched 5.1 innings over 5 appearances as a freshman. Keep that in mind. He's been busy in his freshman campaign. He has a 16.88 ERA, so some high numbers, but you're thinking if you're Spring Arbor, you're a pitch away from getting out of this. For HU, you're a pitch from being on the other side of celebrating. It's really just how the game works, and we'll see if Will can take care of business. He's going to face what looks to be a different hitter for HU. And that's going to be Sebastian Coons, who has caught for HU throughout the years. And if you want to relive a memory, hit a grand slam in this ballpark last year in the Crossroads League tournament. Coons most likely will catch game 2 as Graham Collin will get the start. The pitch Hit high into the air, but shallow left field. In on it comes Gregory. He's able to line it up. Runner bluffs from third, and that is a big second out, a one-pitch out as Jack Will comes in and gets Coons out.
Yeah, that was a big, huge out there for Spring Arbor.
See, Coons just got under it just a little bit, not deep enough to advance the runners. And now for HU, it's going to be up to Bryce Deckman, who does have 2 hits on the day. And now we're going to have a meeting between the 2 umpires. It looks like we've got a car in left field that has decided to turn their lights on with 1 out to go in the game. Now 2. How about that? That would be tough to ask Bryce Deckman to hit up there with some headlights in his eyes.
That's not very good right now.
Looks like it might have been the low beams. High beams would have been a little tougher, but either way, we've reached the biggest at bat of the game. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. It's what you dream of as a kid in the backyard. Bryce Deckman's in that spot. The pitch. Deckman fouls it down the left field line, and it's strike number 1. Will has stepped right in. 2 pitches, 2 strikes. The freshman sets and delivers. It's a breaking ball down low, 1-1 count. This is a momentum-shifting play heading into the next game as well. Spring Arbor can close it out, or Huntington can pull right back and feel the momentum heading into game 2. That one's down too low. It's now a 2-1 count. The freshman Immel waits on deck. Bryce Deckman has been in this lineup the last couple of years at the plate. Will, the freshman, in his first career Crossroads League game. The pitch. Deckman takes outside. It's now 3-1, and Deckman in a great hitter's count here.
This could be huge for HU.
If Deckman can repeat that double into the left field gap that he had earlier in the game, that might win it for the Foresters. The pitch. Deckman hits it hard again. It's foul again. And now it's full. And now Ross with 2 outs, bases loaded, 3-2 count. The runners are going to be off on the pitch.
Yes, absolutely. I would say if you're Coach Don Craven, you sit him.
It's a green light go for the base runners. Bases loaded with Foresters. Deckman can be the hero. The pitch. Deckman stays alive. A breaking ball fouled out of play. And we'll do it all over again.
Still fighting.
This feels eerily similar to the situation that HU was in their season last year. Bases loaded, chance to walk it off. We'll see if they can get a different result this time around. Will sets. Deckman waits. Here it comes. Breaking ball, top of the zone, called strike 3. And that is going to end game number 1. And Spring Arbor battles back to win over the Huntington Foresters. Deckman didn't like the call, but it goes Will's way. The Forester comeback comes up short, and that is the first time in the last 8 games that the Cougars have taken down the Foresters.
Yeah, that was a huge win there for Spring Arbor, beating Huntington here at Forester Glen Park.
So Spring Arbor moves to 1-0. We're going to show you that replay there. Deckman seemed to be fooled on the pitch, but it was called at the top of the zone. And Jack Will, the freshman, will be the hero in his first collegiate Crossroads League game. We're going to send it to a break. We'll come back for game number 2 in just a little bit. It'll be Dylan Herring putting on the headset back at Forest Glen Park. But for now, Preston Husband, Ross Cosnell, thanks for joining.